We are going to be getting a ton of really good content this week in Pokemon Go. This week we're going to be getting Sustainability Week, and we're also going to be getting a replay hatch day featuring the Pokemon Riolu. I'm going to be talking about all of this in today's video. Let's get right into it. Hey, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your week is starting off really well, and let's get right into it. So this is going to be a pretty big week in Pokemon Go, mainly because we have a major in-game event, which is going to be Sustainability Week, and then we're also going to be getting a hatch day on the weekend featuring a highly valuable Pokemon that you do not want to miss out on. It's a very good opportunity for you to get yourself some really powerful Pokemon, and on top of that, it's going to be full of stuff for you to do. We also have a legendary that is coming back to 5-star raids that is actually incredibly important to have, and I'll talk about that later. But let's first talk about Sustainability Week, and then afterwards I'll also go over the hatch day. Sustainability Week is going to be from April 14 at 10 o'clock a.m. local time, and it's going to go until April 20th at 8 o'clock p.m. local time. This is something that has been common with events after Memories in Motion has started, where different events throughout the month are going to last for about a week. So this is going to be a pretty long event, and it's going to be featuring quite a lot. Now, when it comes to the featured Pokemon for this event, we are going to be getting Galarian Corsola wearing pink sunglasses, which I think is very interesting. A brand new Pokemon is going to be making its debut in Silicobra, and Sandaconda, which is the evolved form of Silicobra, is also going to be making its debut. We are also going to be getting a brand new shiny for us to get, and it's going to be shiny Toedscool. Now, when it comes to getting yourself Sandaconda, it's very straightforward. It's just going to involve evolving Silicobra with 50 candies. That's how you can get this new Pokemon, and I think there is potential for it to be really good when it comes to PvP, but that's all dependent on what moves it gets. And then of course, you could get Galarian Corsola wearing pink sunglasses, and if you're lucky, you might encounter a shiny of it. And then of course, making its debut with this event is going to be shiny Toedscool, and later on I'll tell you how you can get it. There's actually some interesting ways. Now, when it comes to the wild encounters, these are the Pokemon you will get. Seedot, Castform, Silicobra, Toedscool, as well as Wiglet are going to be appearing in the wild, and depending on their different biomes, you might encounter Silicobra, Toedscool, Wiglet at a more common rate. And then, depending on the weather conditions, that's when you're going to see Castform and all of its various forms. That is something to keep in mind during this event because Castform is one of those Pokemon that often does not get featured in Pokemon Go's events. Now, let's go over the event bonuses because different Pokemon are going to be appearing more frequently in routes during this event, and you're going to have an increased chance to get shinies of these Pokemon when you encounter them during routes. Now, between April 14 at 10 o'clock a.m. until April 16 at 10 o'clock a.m., you're going to see Togetic as well as Galarian Corsola wearing pink sunglasses on routes, and they're going to have a boosted shiny chance for Togetic. Between April 16 at 10 o'clock a.m. until April 18 at 10 o'clock a.m., you're going to be encountering Galarian Corsola wearing pink sunglasses, as well as Trubbish with a boosted shiny rate. And then from April 18 at 10 o'clock a.m. until April 20th at 8 o'clock p.m., you're going to encounter Lapras and Galarian Corsola wearing pink sunglasses on routes, and Lapras is going to have an increased shiny chance. And then also during this event, you're going to have an increased chance to hatch shiny Galarian Corsola wearing pink sunglasses, as well as shiny Castform. So there's definitely going to be a lot of egg hatching involved. And then finally, there's going to be a Go Pass specifically tied to this event, and if you were to unlock certain tiers, you're going to get bonuses which are actually pretty good. First and foremost, at tier 1, you're going to get double the amount of experience whenever you spin a Pokestop, and then if you have the deluxe version of this Go Pass, the bonus is actually going to be increased to 3 times the amount of experience whenever you spin a Pokestop. And then at tier 2, the egg hatching distance is going to be cut in half for any egg that is placed in incubators during the event period. And also hatching in 7-kilometer eggs during this event, you're going to get Lapras, Togepi, Galarian Corsola wearing pink sunglasses, Castform, as well as Trubbish. And then for Galarian Corsola wearing pink sunglasses as well as Castform,
you're going to have an increased shiny chance when you hatch them from these 7-kilometer eggs.
Right, so during this sustainability week, we have a hatch day on the weekend that's going to be featuring the Pokemon Riolu. Now, of course, this is a replay hatch day, which means we've had this hatch day before, but I still think this one might be worth doing, and I'll talk about why. But yeah, let's go over the details for this hatch day.
Replay Riolu Hatch Day is going to be happening on April 18 from 11 o'clock a.m. until 5 o'clock p.m. local time. And the featured Pokemon is, of course, going to be Riolu, and it's going to have an increased shiny chance whenever you hatch for it. Now, considering that this is a hatch day, it's also going to include some event bonuses. You're going to get double the amount of candy from hatching eggs, double the amount of experience from hatching eggs, the distance to hatch eggs is going to be cut in half, and the chance of getting shiny Riolu is going to be increased, and then you're going to have an increased chance of getting 2-kilometer eggs from spinning Pokestops, and Riolu is going to be hatching from those 2-kilometer eggs. There's also going to be a timed research, which is going to give you an incubator along with 5,000 experience, and as well as a paid timed research, which is going to actually cut the hatch distance even more to a quarter, and then you're also going to get 1 star piece as well as 2 super incubators. Considering the cost, it might actually be worth getting the paid timed research, especially if you're going to go all out for this event. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing else really going on with this event. It's just going to be your typical hatch day, and you're going to be able to get shiny Riolu at an increased rate. Considering other hatch days that we've had in the past, this is definitely one you're going to want to prepare for. You don't need to be in an area with a lot of Pokestops, but you will want to clear out your egg pool before this event and have a whole bunch of incubators saved up and be ready to walk as much as you can. You will typically hatch about 50 eggs if you go the entire event duration and you have enough incubators, but that's all going to be dependent on how much you can hatch within the event period. So yeah, it could be a great way for you to get a whole bunch of shiny Riolu, and considering that they're going to have a higher IV floor as a result of hatching for it, you might potentially get yourself a Shundo or a high IV shiny. It's certainly one of the best ways you can do that. And one more thing to consider is that this event is going to be happening coinciding with Sustainability Week, and if you walk routes while hatching those eggs, you'll be able to get an increased chance at encountering Lapras. So you could double dip here and do 2 events at the same time. While you're hatching eggs with Riolu Hatch Day, you could also be walking routes and trying to get yourself shiny Lapras as well as shiny Galarian Corsola wearing sunglasses.
Alright, finally, let's close this off by talking about the weekly content, starting with Max Battles. We are going to be getting Drillbur this week, and I will say this is one of the better Max Pokemon. It evolves into Exegdrill, and Dynamax Exegdrill is incredibly powerful for Max Battles. Do not miss out on this one. You will definitely want to pick at least one up, and you will want to power it up. And then, when it comes to 5-star raid content, we have Kyogre until April 14th, but afterwards, on April 15th onwards, we're going to be getting the powerful legendary Pokemon Groudon. Even though you won't be able to get Primal Energy for Groudon through these raids, you still might be able to pick up yourself a 100% IV, and that is definitely going to be worth you maxing out. And then coinciding with it, in Mega Evolution raids, we're going to have Mega Aerodactyl until April 14, and Mega Alakazam is going to be in Mega Evolution raids from the 15 onwards. And it is certainly a very powerful Psychic type Mega Evolution, but I do think there are going to be better options out there in the future. But for now, if you want a good Psychic type Mega Evolution, Mega Alakazam is a really solid choice. So make sure you farm up the Mega Energy for this particular Pokemon. And then of course, throughout this month, we're going to have Shadow Latios and Shadow Legendary raids. It's not necessarily a powerful Shadow Legendary Pokemon, but it is certainly one that some players might want. And of course, you could potentially get the shiny version of it. And of course, for this Wednesday's raid hour, just so you know, it's going to be featuring Groudon. It's going to be from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. local time, so make sure you mark your calendars. You do not want to miss out on the opportunity at doing a whole bunch of Groudon raids, especially with a bunch of other people. And last but not least, this is what's going to be active within the Go Battle League during this week. Until this Tuesday, April 14, we're going to continue to have the Open Ultra League, along with the Fantasy Cup Great League Edition. Afterwards, until the end of the week, we're going to have the Open Master League, as well as the Spring Cup Great League Edition. If you happen to have yourself a really solid Spring Cup team, you should definitely do some battles this week. Or, if you have a really good Master League team, then this will be the week to farm up those ranking points. Alright, so overall, this is everything that's coming to Pokemon Go during this week. Again, Sustainability Week itself is going to be giving you a whole bunch of content and a whole bunch of stuff to do, and then the Hatch Day that we're getting on the weekend. Now, I did mention that this is a Hatch Day that we've had before, so I'm sure a lot of people out there are just not interested in participating in this Hatch Day. However, I will say Riolu is one of those Pokemon that is very incredibly valuable. The reason for that is because of what it evolves into, Lucario. Lucario is one of those Pokemon that has a Mega Evolution. In fact, it has two Mega Evolutions, one that is going to be coming out later on this year or sometime in the future, but regardless, it's a very powerful Mega Evolution. And then on top of that, it's just a very powerful fighting type in and of itself. So I do think Lucario is a very powerful Pokemon for you to go after. Even if you already have yourself a good one, wouldn't hurt to go for a second one that's 100% and maxed out. Doing Riolu Hatch Day, you're gonna at least farm up a bunch of candies, get yourself some shinies, so I think it's a very important event. But regardless of that, yeah, this week is looking to be pretty good, especially compared to this previous week, and I'm looking forward to it. I think there's gonna be a lot of stuff to do. And that's going to be it for this video. Share your thoughts regarding what I talked about down below. Is there something during this week that you are looking forward to? Make sure you share what that is, and let's have a great discussion. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button for this video, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And make sure you turn on the notification bell as well, so you know exactly when I upload videos. And make sure you check out the links in the description below. There's a bunch of links to my Etsy store, my Patreon page. They're all a bunch of really cool stuff. So yeah, go and check it out. Yep. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, have yourself a good week, and I'll catch you in the next video.